So this week we continue to work on water features and ponds and learning about those and the calculations needed to go into finding which pumps to use, how big to make ponds, things like that. And so overall it's been a good week. We have been working on the design process. So last week we practiced a little about on the design of water features and how to figure out which pumps to use. This week we went a little bit more into it. We practiced again on a different design. And then we were introduced to our project where we had to design our very own water feature. We had to get into Vizterra and make a model of it, and then also draw a plan view and a section elevation portion of it, hand drawing it. So and I'll be covering that more next week when I actually finish up the project. So, but this week on the side of all that, we did a number of things. Last week I mentioned we were going to look at the bead filter that goes into the pond in the jungle greenhouse. The one that is used in the greenhouse is a lot bigger, fairly large to handle, thousands of gallons. But we were able to open up a smaller one that isn't in use and kind of look at what's inside, because it's interesting to think about what is going on inside of there. So they're these ball-like filters, and when you open it up, it has a tube that shoots the water in that comes from the pump. So it goes in this filter, and then these beads are in there, these little plastic cylinder beads. And pretty much it helps catch things in the water, and then the pump pumps the water back out of the filter and into the fountain. So the beads don't necessarily do much other than it helps bacteria grow on them, and so then when the water comes in, the bacteria actually helps clean the water and make it clear. So we're able to kind of look into that, and here's a video of us backflushing the bead filter, because occasionally, a lot of dirt and stuff accumulates inside, and you got to backflush it in order to kind of clean itself out. And so, the water's running in one way and then coming out another pipe, while we were forcing it to go in and then go out a different pipe that actually exited. So we're kind of backflushing it, and as you can see, it just spews dirty water everywhere. It hadn't been cleaned in a while. But we suspect there might be something wrong with the filter, because it was spewing out some of those little black beads, which is not good to have happen. So we were catching those as they were coming out. Really, it's important to do this every once in a while, not consistently, not like weekly or monthly, because you want to make sure the bacteria has a chance to thrive and to grow in order to clean the water out. But you want to clean the filter out enough to where it doesn't build up and it clogs the system and prevents the filter from cleaning. So, and like I said last week, the bead filter is just another method to cleaning the water in order to produce a clearer water feature, because you don't want it just filtering dirty water. You want it to clean itself out. And then after we backflushed the filter, we had to add more water into the pond because it spewed a lot of the water out. And so there's our professor just adding through the hose, and he's having it at that certain angle as he's filling it up in order to add oxygen to the water, and that helps the fish, really, the koi that are in the pond. We also were able to look at some algicides to add to the water, and we didn't add all of them, but we added some for cold weather and warmer weather to help clear the water. We don't really need it. We never really add it to that pond just because of the bead filter and because of the pad filter that's in the skimmer box. We're able to, that's usually maintained fairly well. But we did add this just to kind of see how it works, and it is looking a lot clearer now that we added that algicide in, which is good. So other than that, we were also able to meet with Milosi, which is a landscaping company. They do installations, construction, design, things like that. So we're able to meet with them over Zoom, and they were actually on some of the properties that they were working on. And so we're able to ask them questions on installation, paver installation as well. They were doing some of that as well as water features, and just ask them different things about the industry, which was really nice. Other than that, we were introduced to our water feature design project, which we worked on this whole week. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's just, designing in Visterra, getting a visual model of it, and then also putting it on paper, hand drawing it, and then calculating which pumps to use, which filters and skimmer boxes to use, how much water will be going through the fountain. So it's kind of a large project, but it will be good to apply what we've been learning in class. So I'll cover that more next week as I finish it up. Thanks for watching.